It's almost impossible to imagine a world where Beyoncé isn't one of the most powerful and influential entertainers alive. But before the Grammys, the Super Bowl performances, and the billion-dollar tours, she was just a quiet girl from Houston, Texas, far removed from the spotlight. And her journey to becoming Queen Bee? It wasn't luck. It was obsession, rejection, sacrifice, and a little girl who turned her pain into power. Beyoncé Giselle Knowles was born on September 4, 1981 in Houston. Her father, Matthew Knowles, was a Xerox sales executive who would later become her manager, and her mother, Tina Knowles, owned a hair salon, which would later inspire much of Beyoncé's fashion-forward image. But as a child, Beyoncé wasn't the star of the show. Far from it. She was painfully shy. Teachers noticed that she barely spoke in class, but something changed when music came on.
Her name is Beyonce Knowles.
At just 7 years old, Beyoncé's parents enrolled her in dance classes to help her gain confidence. One day, during class, the instructor began humming a song, and young Beyoncé began singing it back, perfectly, with control and pitch that no one expected from a second grader. Her instructor was floored. That was the moment her parents realized this wasn't just a hobby. She entered her first talent show at age 7, singing John Lennon's Imagine. She wore a purple pantsuit her mom made for her. She didn't just win, she blew the competition away. Receiving a standing ovation, Beyoncé later admitted that moment lit a fire in her. That applause? It was addicting. But talent alone wasn't going to be enough. By age 9, Beyoncé had joined a girl group called Girls' Time, a 6-member ensemble with rappers and singers. In 1993, Girls' Time got their big shot when they were invited to compete on Star Search, the biggest talent show in the country at the time.
Welcome Beyonce, Lativia, Nina, Nikki, Kelly, and Ashley, the hip-hop rapping Girls' Time.
And they lost. That defeat crushed Beyoncé. She cried for days. It was her first public failure, and it nearly broke her spirit. But Matthew Knowles, her father, saw it differently. He quit his corporate job and dedicated himself full-time to managing Beyoncé's career. Some say it was risky. Others called it reckless. But to Matthew, it was destiny.
Hi, my name is Beyonce. Beyonce Giselle Knowles, and
He reduced the group down to 4 members, refined their image, had them practicing for hours daily, sometimes 10 hours a day during summer breaks. They performed at hair salons, block parties, anywhere that would take them. But the group struggled to land a record deal for years. They were rejected dozens of times, and at one point, Beyoncé suffered from deep anxiety. She developed depression at just 13 years old after the group was dropped from Elektra Records. For a teenager who had built her entire identity around her dream, this was devastating. But she didn't stop. Eventually, Columbia Records took a chance on the group in 1997. They were renamed Destiny's Child, a name Tina Knowles picked from the Book of Isaiah. Their first single, No, 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 featuring Wyclef Jean, did well, especially on R&B charts.
So let's get things started with 4 lovely ladies from Houston who have broken out with their single, No, No, No. Please welcome, show your love for Destiny's Child.
Let me hear you say, why you frontin' when you know you really want it? Let me hear you say, why you frontin' when you know you really want it?
But it wasn't until their second album, The Writings on the Wall, in 1999, that Destiny's Child exploded into the mainstream.
Hey, welcome back to Electric Air. We're here at the Isles of MTV, and we are here with Destiny's Child once again. We met you in Miami a couple of months ago, and now you're here at the Isles of MTV. Now, tell us about the new video that just dropped.
That album gave us Bills, 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 Say My Name, Bugaboo, and Jumpin' Jumpin'. It sold over 8 million copies, earned Grammy Awards, and made them global stars. But with fame came fallout. Behind the scenes, not everything was so harmonious. LaToya and Latavia, 2 of the original members, began questioning Matthew Knowles' management. They felt decisions were being made to prioritize Beyoncé and Kelly, who lived under Matthew's roof.
It was something that had been going on. It was things that we were noticing for
It was
years.
conflicts that were going on.
Yeah,
The
for years.
departure was like this.
When they voiced their concerns, they were replaced without warning by two new members, Michelle Williams and Farrah Franklin. The group released the video for Say My Name, but with two new faces. Fans were confused. LaToya and Latavia found out that they were out of the group by watching TV.
That video, Say My Name, ended up being shot weeks later, with LaToya and Latavia nowhere in sight, and their places taken by two brand new Destiny's members, Farrah Franklin and Michelle Williams.
What was that like, though, when you heard that they'd shot a video for a song you sang on without you?
I was like, nah, you playing, shut up.
I was like, hold on. I was like, it's not true. Then we got another call, and we heard it again. Then the next thing, I'm looking at BET. The premiere of Destiny's Child's new video, Say My Name. That's how we heard about it.
Lawsuits followed. Rumors swirled. Beyoncé, still a teenager, took the brunt of the blame from the public. She was painted as the diva, the puppet master, the one who stabbed her friends in the back. Beyoncé later said it was the hardest time of her life. She became reclusive, hiding in her room, writing music and journaling obsessively. For someone who had always focused on the art, not the politics, the backlash hit hard. In 2000, Destiny's Child released Survivor, an album directly addressing the drama. Songs like Survivor and Independent Women weren't just hits, they were statements. Beyoncé, now clearly the frontwoman, was evolving, not just as a singer, but as a storyteller.
What's up, what's up? This is Beyonce on the red carpet.
Around this time, Matthew Knowles began grooming Beyoncé for a solo career. It was controversial. The public was still reeling from how the original members were treated. But Beyoncé knew she had to step out on her own eventually. She created a character, Sasha Fierce, to help herself perform more fearlessly. Sasha was everything she wasn't offstage. Bold, sexy, unapologetic. In 2003, Beyoncé dropped Dangerously in Love, featuring Crazy in Love with Jay-Z.
You ready?
The song hit #1 almost instantly. The album went 4 times platinum. She was no longer just the girl from Destiny's Child. She was Beyoncé. Destiny's Child would reunite once more for Destiny Fulfilled in 2004, but by then, the writing was on the wall. Beyoncé had outgrown the group. They officially disbanded in 2006.
I told you how you hurt me, baby, but you don't care.
Her journey wasn't a straight line. It was full of near misses, betrayals, self-doubt, and reinvention. But through it all, one thing remained constant: her discipline, her obsession, that inner voice that told her to keep going, even when no one else believed. And that's how a shy little girl from Houston became the most powerful woman in music.